Now let's shift our focus to Guyana. Prime Minister Modi is visiting the Caribbean nation today. It is the final stop of his three-nation tour, and the first time in more than 50 years that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting Guyana. His itinerary is packed. Prime Minister Modi will meet leaders from 15 Caribbean nations. He is also set to receive the top honours of Guyana and Barbados. It is a sign of India's deepening ties with the Caribbean. But why is this region becoming so important for India? Is this about India's growing need for oil and its push for energy security? Here's our report.
Guyana was independent for just 2 years when Indira Gandhi visited this Caribbean country in 1968. It was a different era, and Guyana was a different country then. Today, it is witnessing an extraordinary economic boom. Just like India, Guyana is among the world's fastest growing economies. Both countries want to leverage each other's strengths. Thanks to their strong historical and cultural ties, India and Guyana are ready to write a new chapter in this relationship. Guyana's president himself has an Indian connection. Irfan Ali's ancestors were among the first Indians to migrate to Guyana. He went all out to welcome the Indian Prime Minister. President Ali was at the airport to personally receive PM Modi along with over a dozen members of his cabinet and Prime Ministers of Grenada and Barbados. The Indian Prime Minister also received a special welcome from the members of the Indian community. PM Modi is also being awarded the top honours of Guyana and Barbados. The Indian community serves as a bridge between the two nations. About 40% of Guyana's population is either Indian or of South Asian origin. This has allowed India to develop a deep relationship, especially on the energy front. It is believed that Guyana has 11 billion barrels worth of oil reserves. This puts the Caribbean nation among the top 20 with the largest oil reserves globally, and on par with countries like Norway, Brazil and Algeria. India imports around 80% of its crude needs. It needs diverse sources for crude, and Guyana could be a stable option.
Of understanding on the area of health.
So India is making strategic investments in Guyana. Earlier this year, both countries signed an agreement. It involves Indian companies like ONGC, which is India's state-owned and largest oil and gas company. They can get involved with Guyana's booming oil industry, participate in exploration, production and refining of crude.
India to enhance bilateral collaboration in the hydrocarbon sector.
Similarly, India is investing in the defence forces of Guyana. Before Prime Minister Modi's arrival, Guyana commissioned 2 aircraft from India. These will be used to conduct aerial surveillance. New Delhi had extended a line of credit for these aircraft to Guyana. Energy and defence form the 2 main pillars of this relationship. Both leaders are expanding on these fronts with more bilateral agreements and greater cooperation. With this visit, India appears ready to expand its global footprint.